Hello, welcome to my Gravitas 2 Let's Play Episode 3. My name is Cthulhu, or Monster. I play on Pilpo's Patreon server, and it is time, I believe, to address the side of this build. This is my workshop, and as I've progressed through different parts of the mod pack, it has transformed itself into a spaghetti mess. So I would like to clean this up. So my goal is to fix this back here and come up with some ideas to really streamline this. Additionally, as a village, we decided that this airport is actually going to be moved, mainly due to the fact that Cassidy and myself are expanding more than we thought. So we're going to put this in a different location. Curiosity right now is hanging out in my dragon horn, so she's not back here. I'm thinking I'll have to figure out a perch for her as well, but not in today's episode. The big focus for today's episode is the back of, well, I wouldn't call it the back, the side of this building, and doing some cleanup for the machines I do have. I am hoping to also lay out either my warehouse location or an ore prospecting location. It may be as little as just a little sign. So yeah, let's see what we're up to today. One of the things I want to do is to actually remove this Railcraft Reborn tank. It stores a little bit over 6 million buckets, so 6,000 buckets here. But the super tank with Greg Tech actually automatically stores 8,000 or 8 million millibuckets. So with that, I think I'm going to remove this and maybe put it as something aesthetic or as a backup Steam location. One of the things, uh, just because I do need more steam than what's there, and so I'm wasting some of my generation when I'm maxing out. Right now, I think I have 1.4 millibuckets or 14,000 of those. All right, so I accidentally grabbed some rot here. Uh, the super tank isn't too terrible. The biggest problem is the hermetic casing one. So that includes a polyethylene fluid pipe. And polyethylene is not easy to produce. My polyethylene is actually attached to my diesel here, and that's where I'm using my oil sands. So as you can see, I did a lot of processing of my oil sands here. I think I had about, I want to say 2,000 um, raw oil sands, and I've processed it, and it became over 6,000. I do plan on doing like a little science experiment for some of these to get the ratio, but at the moment I'm a little too messy for that. So I put my oil sand through the centrifuge here, and um that's where I get the polyethylene from above. I'm going to just quickly grab let's grab a cell. So it looks like, do I have any of the big cells empty? Yes, I do. So these cells, I believe, store 16. I'll have to test it once I actually get up here. And I'm just going to grab 16 buckets of polyethylene. So I have 9.1 right now. So yep, it's just 8. So I'm going to grab both of those. But yeah, with polyethylene, this is the one that takes the hydrogen gas, which I'm a little low on here and I need to fill. And it takes the steam, which I'm never low on, and then it takes oxygen, which I believe I need to reconnect the pipes. All right, let's grab a drum too, just so I don't have to break pipes, to break drums to fit this. All right, so I got my drum. And I'm just going to also put that hydrogen sulfide going again. It's a lot of hydrogen hiding in 35 buckets there. So we'll just put this in here. This is just a HV electrolyzer I've started. I've started a little HV section here run off of a combustion generator here. I think maybe I'll probably make this prettier. This will be my HV section, and I'll run a diesel line somewhere here. As you can see, it really just went through that very quickly. I do have, I'm just going to top off the fuel here, so that looks good. Actually should be mixing, so it's a little strange. Oh, oh, I accidentally got too much heavy in here. That's what's happening. So I'm going to just dump all of that hydrogen I have here. I'm going to grab the heavy, and I'm going to turn off this machine to start because I'm going to need to get rid of this heavy fuel. And the only way to do that is to slow down. All right, so this light fuel I need first to come out. So it looks like more heavy went first. Okay, yeah, the steel drum is very full. So this is where I previously had stored my extra. Um, okay, there we go. That's the fuel I want in there. And I'll take this other drum. There we go. And once again, just stop making that heavy fuel at the moment. And also replace it just with my aluminum drum here because I have way more than 64 at the moment. All right, so there we go. All right, so that'll keep going, and that'll just be something I'll have to keep an eye on when I'm ready to do that. Light fuel is my main constraint. So let's see here. I'm going to grab the rest of this hydrogen gas and put it into the polyethylene system. I will probably actually get a real stairwell up here as well, just not something I'm currently worried about. Put it in the wrong spot. That's how life happens sometimes. All right. There we go. So now I'm going to have more light fuel being made. The severely cracked should be coming over here. And this is where the oxygen, me being low on oxygen, comes into play. I'm just going to come over here and grab this stuff because this is oxygen I don't necessarily need. So might as well use it in a moment. There we go. All right, so let's make some hermetic casing ones for these super tanks. All right, let's see how many pipes we have for this. So with these casings, they're not as good of a pipe for my liquid and gas storage. Like the gas just works better for me. So I am curious to see if this is specifically for super tanks. So I got some extra nuggets there, not nuggets, ingots. I'm gonna put that there. And yeah, let's work on these. So with the hermetic casing, I will make 3 of them to start. And then I'm going to look at getting the super tanks here. So as I had anticipated, the super tanks are going to be set by limited by my they're going to be limited by my circuits. I also, now that I have more of my terminals, I need to make sure that my auto crafting is from network and player. So I'm going to grab some of my basic circuits here. And we'll do a circuit restock coming up in one of these episodes because I'm definitely running short on these. So I'll take this super tank here. And now I believe it's the steel and the LV pumps that I'm running low on. So let's get some steel going. I'm going to do 2 stacks of that because I know I need it. Make sure to eat. All right, so I need to re-record an item from my episode. I wanted to talk a little bit about the rubber rings. So if you're making a rubber ring for these types of pumps, let me just pop one of these open. You can use a knife on a rubber sheet. However, the extruder does really come into play a lot with using these rings. You can actually use the pulp or the ingots and get 4 rings per sheet instead of 1 ring per plate. So I think that's a really important thing to know and understand why you want to make sure you're putting the effort to getting these castings, even though you can manually do them. So I'm just going to put some more of these in here as I do know they're part of pumps and I use them a lot. All right, so I got some rotors. So let's make some of these pumps. So in the case of this option of why it wasn't showing up as complete, it's just due to the usage. It doesn't read these as available if there's any damage on it. So excellent. So I got 4 here, and it looks like the item that is missing, I'm able to make more. Let's just make sure I have that in plan. So that's the bronze pipe. So I could do 3 by hand or 3 in the extruder. How is my bronze looking? We might need to run some bronze. Oh boy, yeah, we need to run some bronze. Um, let's see here. I did do some trades with Volt to get some more copper, thank gosh. All right, so I got a super tank there. Let's get some more of these. So I'm just gonna make as many as I can, which is 3. All right. I'm also gonna take those circuits and put them back in my container. where they belong. All right. Yep, I'm overeating. I really need to figure out a AC for my build right now. Lots of jumping in this river. But it's such a pretty river. How else am I supposed to see the lovely fish float around? Get a nice calming sip of water as I kind of burn. It's gonna sit in this corner. Would be nice living in a place like this. Oh, of course, I'd be terribly polluting it with all of my stuff. The other thing I'm going to do is clear my creosote tank up here as well. So at times you just kind of have to finagle as you go. My creosote is coming in at the top and supposed to come out at this valve. But with the valves, they're both ways with Railcraft. So I think what I'm going to do is grab my large drum. Let's see if I can make another aluminum one here, which I do have the stuff for. So I'm going to make just a drum and manually transfer this over because it's just easier for me to click and click. It's not a million, it's a lot easier to do. Looks like I went down there. All right, so this one's empty. That's full. Let's demolish this. My new pick is amazing and very dangerous. It's kind of like when you're trying to delicately go through something and you just smash it. Which, you know, that is what it is. It's not the worst, but oh no. See, that's what I meant. That meant I just lost some of my steam in here because breaking any block in this update voids it. So let's just bust this. Oop. All right. So here are our two current inputs of steam. So I'm just going to see if I can combine them. Put my new steam tank here and put a wrench so that hopefully this starts filling up. All right, there we go. All right. Oh gosh, that looks so weird just not to see the tank right here. Just a completely open space. Let's keep clearing out here what I can. All right, so my coke ovens here will be updated in time to the poly, the electric one, but I do believe I'm going to keep my basic ones within this build, or at least keep my basic ones here. So that can stay. Then I just need to keep breaking this. I do need to get, I think I'm going to make another door here, similar to this one. It just feels right that this would have a backing out here. But does it? You know? All right, let's think about this. I think I'm actually probably going to remove this Coke oven here and replace it with the other one. I was just thinking about it and I realized that I don't need the creosote from here. I need other byproducts for coal. So that's kind of the reason I haven't been processing any of that. So let's just commit to replacing this. All right, so I'm going to just put this drawer over here. I'm going to put it close to my steel just because that's where I process. That's where I'm using in the majority of it. And if you guys were curious, I am using these small nickel item pipes in combination with conveyors in here. So I have conveyors on each face, and then I'm using the screwdriver to access it, and that's where I have these on an export mode. And then in the actual drawers, I had this one as an import and the one on the top as an export. And those are import into the machine, not, sorry, import into the chest, not necessarily importing into, sorry, importing into the pipe, not necessarily importing into anything else. All right, so I decided I'm actually going to rip down the coke ovens as well for the moment and see if, I'm not sure if I'm going to be putting these back up because at the moment I don't need creosote. It's not really helpful to me. The electric Coke oven will give me a better product for my other processes. And I think it's important to just, change up your base to what you need in the moment and feel like you can do finishing without it being final. And that is something that like I really have to work on myself because at times I feel like I have to have the final design and I can't be making big changes. So this is a work in progress for me making choices of having bases I enjoy. All right, that barrel is empty, so there's really no reason for me to keep that here. So I'm just gonna pop that open and pop that storage open and put this whole thing into my storage. All right, so I don't need my whole system to come down to this point, so I could make this like a cute little room here. I'm wondering how I want to go about that. So I'm going to need a tank somewhere, whether it's here or down on this spot here. And then I need to get exposed solar boilers in here. So with the exposed solar, I need water connection. So let's see here. Do I want to have like a little, actual, like a little oasis of water back here? That could be a possibility. Let me just take this. By that, I think of it kind of like those like brine pools for detention basin. So not what I would consider an oasis, actually, like the opposite of an oasis. An oasis is aesthetically pleasing to the eye. This will be more of like a pit of industrialness here. All right. So I do not want this to get too big. If I do need more steam elsewhere, I'm going to reconsider locations. Right now I'm using, so I got 8 solar here and I got a few more. So it's looking like I'll have 8, 10, 12. So I'll have 12, which is just 6 on either side. So let's see if I had actually put these. So once again, I don't want to explode those, so I'm just going to use a fake one first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 9. Um, so if I push this out one more, I should get to 12. So that could be nice. Let's see what that looks like. All right. So once again, I gotta remind myself, don't pull that. I'm trying to place 12 of these, so this is I'm just gonna use a section of 12 here. Why don't I have 12? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so I don't have 12 because I have an even number there. So if I do the corners, I would have 1 empty, which I think is fine. I could do a series of pipes up for the super tanks. Just something I'm considering here. So let's see here. I need to get water into this system, and I need to get steam out of it. I know I can't get steam out of the bottom, but can I get water out of the bottom? I did want to kind of make these look like they're sitting on some type of table, but I could just make some trapdoors down there to add some dimension, which is probably what I'll end up doing. So if I do this, and then this side here, that'd be all of them with water, right? Just to do a quick thought here. One of my favorite ways to do water pickup is through having a windmill, not a windmill, a water wheel like so, and then feeding off of it. So I was trying to figure out if I want to do a water wheel here, and then maybe have it buried and then have the system pull from the sides here a little bit. So I think that could look kind of cool and three-dimensional. Like this is like a big steam-based thing. So that could be cool. All right, so I'm going to take a moment here and just try out a few things, and I'll come back once I have a working steam production. All right, so I have create on the bottom here that actually pulls water up from two infinite sources. I have a little hidden access path here using a frame block that allows me to kind of get in here. Oh, and oh, sorry, my dog just hit my hand. Tells you he's good at telling you when he wants something. So it's a little bit of a tricky way to just kind of see what's going on, but I have a small water wheel right here. And then I have put a rock in here of the same material so that this doesn't get frozen. And this is my little secret access path. So just pop this back up. And that way I can see what's going on if there's any issues. I could go all the way down to the bottom as well. And that's where uh, I have a precision mechanism here that does 32 RPM. So either side's running at that. And then this goes up to those pumps. This isn't very pretty. And maybe I'll make it pretty if I decide this is permanent later. But in the meantime, I think it does what it needs to do. I'm going to put just a lamp down here to ease my nervousness. We do not have creeper explosions on the server, which is very nice. I think just in an effort to keep people's bases from getting griefed. All right. So next up, I have on either side access to my Greg machines here, and it's always important for me to have some way to kind of take a look at the connection points. Right here it's a little bit tight, but I figured, this is close enough. And I have this separated for one main reason. Each of these will generate, the 18 liters per tick, and that actually will exceed the capacity of a large gold pipe, which is at 300 megabytes per tick. And I just didn't want to upgrade to another piping system, so that is something that I just kind of worked with there. And I have just put a lot more storage in to compensate this. This is so shiny in the so shiny in the beautiful shaders. So I've just turned that off to be able to look at that. But yeah, so this is kind of my upgraded solar. I think there's a lot of different fun, creative ways you can work with this. I tried to tie it into the rest of my base a little bit. I am going to be putting a coke oven right here, and this is going to be my quick straight shot into the next area. And yeah, this is how I clean these up. I also put my maintenance access out this door here. So this is behind all of the machines I already have. I do still need to get some finishing touches here, but I'll probably do that between episodes just to clean this up and make it look a little nicer. All right, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I just wanted to talk a little bit about how I do some of my plans for expansions and how I think of the machines. This definitely works for some. Sometimes it doesn't work for me even. So let me know your thoughts, and hopefully you like this little addition. And then I think next time we'll be doing some cleanup in that corner of the base and getting the fancy coke oven in place. Maybe we'll actually explore some benzene. I'm not yet sure if that's a method I want to work on. All right. Thank you much, and I hope you have a great day. My customer service background that I had just came out there. It came back. The customer service. All right. And this is the end of the episode for real this time.